Clifton North, Alex Cunningham. Alex, thanks for taking the time this afternoon. What's your involvement in this then?
Well, I'm a member of the all-party parliamentary group on carbon monoxide, but my history goes back a long, long way, and all the way back into when I was working in public relations in the gas industry, when it was my job to receive the calls when, from a public relations perspective, when somebody had died, as a result of carbon monoxide poisoning. So I was very much, working on it then, and I still think it's important today.
Massively. Tell us about the law then, and what's going to change, and what particularly landlords and tenants need to know.
Well, first and foremost, tenants do need to know their rights, and they have a right to have a carbon monoxide alarm fitted in their homes. That's a legal right, and the law has changed on this. And all landlords, whether they're large housing associations or they're private landlords with one property, they all have a responsibility to ensure that they install a working carbon monoxide alarm within the home.
So what happens though if a landlord doesn't comply with the new law?
Well, they can be subject, I think, it's a £5,000 fine if they fail to provide an alarm. So, a hefty penalty if they don't do it. But I'm sure that the vast majority of them will do so, and it's important that we all play a role in spreading the word to make sure that nobody thinks that they can get away with it.
I think you're right. The vast majority of landlords will do that, but you always get the odd cowboy, don't you? So in that case, Alex, who should tenants complain to if they don't get supplied with an alarm?
Well, they can go to their gas gas company, not the supplier, but the network company. But really, this is a matter for the local authority first and foremost, who have a responsibility for monitoring, what's happening within the private rented sector. And so my first point of call would be to go there. But if they want an alarm or help or advice on getting an alarm generally, there is a dedicated website. It's coalarmsaveslives.com, or they can contact their local gas distribution network.
And whose responsibility is it to actually check on the device?
Well, I think some of that lies with the householder themselves. I have carbon monoxide alarms at home, and they're run by batteries. Some of them are mains powered, so you don't have so many problems with them. But there's usually warning lights on them, and my advice to people is to make sure that they check them regularly, and if they're a tenant, that they contact their landlord and have them replaced immediately. I mean, I'd like to tell you a story, from my further past. I used to be a reporter working for Radio Tees, which is now called TFM.
Yeah, that's right.
And in those days, when I was a reporter there, one of my colleagues died of carbon monoxide poisoning. A young reporter, he died in Middlesbrough. He slept the night, it was Hogmanay, and he slept the night on his sister's settee in the front room with the gas fire on, and it cost him his life. So I always remember John, was his name. I always remember him, and that's one of the reasons why I'm still actively involved in encouraging people to get these alarms installed in their homes.
And it's a long time overdue, this law coming about, isn't it? Are there any other measures then, Alex? Are there any other measures that you'd also like to come in to protect people?
Well, I think people need to be aware of, what's happening in their home. I mean, first and foremost, they should have an alarm, and if it goes off, they should ensure that they respond to that in an appropriate way and make sure that, their gas appliances are turned off and their property is ventilated. And in fact, it's even better to leave the property and then call the gas emergency service in order to come and check and find out exactly what is happening. So that's probably one of the main things they can do. But they also need to be aware of, the symptoms of, this particular problem. So people they might feel a bit drowsy, they might have respiratory issues, they might have all manner of little problems that they might be, putting off as something else. They might have a headache, they might be feeling a bit dizzy, a bit short of breath, a little fatigue. Now, all those things can be caused by other things, but they can also be caused by carbon monoxide in the home. And so it's important that people are aware of that.
And finally, Alex, is there a particular website that, if anybody's listening right now and they're very much interested in this, is there anywhere where they particularly need to go?
Yes, a very straightforward name, coalarmsaveslives.com. coalarmsaveslives.com.
Alex, great to chat to you. Thank you so much. Very informative. MP for Stockton North there, Alex Cunningham.